All right.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. All three of us are here for once. It's a medical, guys. It's a medical. We are alive. It is so. All three of us are still alive. And Connect, you've not been here. Oh no, sorry. It was Luke who's not been here last week, right?
No, it's
No,
me.
it was
What's
me.
next?
yeah, and Luke was not here last week, so or the 2 week before that. So yeah, all three of us are here for once. I'm happy to have all three of you on again. Connect. I'll start with you since you weren't here last week.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Tottenham game? Just loose thoughts. Did we play well? Did we play bad? Broad thoughts.
Well, I think we should have been about 4-0 up at half time with the chances we had. Doku should have had a hat trick of assists. Second half, we were under a lot more pressure, but got through it thankfully somehow. Goal at the end shouldn't have been disallowed for me anyway. But here we are. We got the 3 points, so not too much to complain about. It's all about Plymouth now. So there you go.
Yeah. So I think the thing is, yeah, you're always gonna miss chances. So when people say you should be 4 up, I never take arguments like that because you're always gonna miss chances. But we should have been at least 2 goals up, right? We missed a lot of chances. The Savinho one, the Savinho chance that he missed. When I played football, yeah, as a striker, I scored that every single time. Okay, you'll miss that once in a million years. When I played as a striker, I always scored that, and I was not good enough to go pro. I'm sorry, as a professional player, I don't get how good Savinho is in general play, but he has to get better at those finishes because he does that a lot. And if you can't improve in that, listen, he's 20 years old, 21, something like that. Generally speaking, if you look at GA from players, it tends to improve as they get into their mid-20s. Maybe that will improve, but it's been very frustrating to watch this season.
Yeah, that's been. I mean, obviously, I thought it was all right. I mean, yeah, it's just got more goals, but I think the reality is we know the squad at the moment is not perfect. It went perfect rest of the season, even with Echeverri in it, while coming back, it's a long way off where we want to be. It's messy, yeah. But the reality is, right, we know what we are, but I think for me, the positive of Wednesday for me was Kushinov again. He was brilliant again. The defense, I feel a lot safe with him and Diaz at the back now and Guardiola. And look, right back, we know we need sorting out at the summer desperately. But the other positions, I'm more than happy with. Or maybe someplace under a cat or Ake or a Kanji, something like the summer. But apart from that, the main guys, I'm pretty good on that.
The
midfield was okay as well.
Out like Aki, Stones, potentially Akanji.
Yeah.
Most people only want them out because they're injury prone. Like when they played it actually good.
Yeah.
Maybe Akanji not recently, but normally Akanji is good. He just has that Boza moment in him.
Yeah. Ake and Stones are okay. Ake and Stones, when they're fit, are perfectly fine. Obviously, the mistake here and there, but it's not as bad. It's not as bad. I trust them more than with a Kanji. That kind of situation.
Aki, I think Aki, if you look at him in the treble season, I think he was our best defender that season. And I'm saying that because Stones was like a midfielder more than a defender, but I think Aki in that treble season, he made no mistakes. He just didn't make mistakes. And people underrate his ability to go forwards as well. Was it at the start of the 4-beat season there when he walked through Liverpool's midfield and fed a ball into Haaland? That for his first Premier League goal against Liverpool, because he already scored in the Carabao Cup, of course. But Aki has been really good for us. It's such a shame with his injury record. And Stones too. There was a stats there, and correct me if I'm mistaken, he's missed more games due to injury than he's played, something like that, since he arrived. Was that correct?
I'm not 100% sure, but I saw a stat that was similar, and I think in the last 5 years he started less games than Luke Shaw, and I barely see Luke Shaw on the field. So
that's actually sad. Hello, Isaac. Hello. Sage right back next season. You know what? Yeah, if you want, just big up to Moyes. I've never seen you. Thank you for subscribing. Sage, if we want to compare him to Trent, if you want to go to that direction. If you want a young right back who's kind of like Trent, Joaquin Seys will be him. My problem is with Joaquin Seys, he's tiny. He's going to get bullied in the Premier League. Like, he's going to get bullied. He's not a Premier League player. He'll do much better in La Liga. But I know, Dossiel is just joking. But he is immensely talented. Just not made for the Premier League. The problem with Lewis has been the same, isn't it? Physicality. And that he doesn't mark the far post for some reason, which is inexcusable, but he's gotten better at that recently. He's just not physical enough, Rico Lewis. I thought against Tottenham, he had it easy simply because he was playing against sport players. Like, if I look at the most recent performances by Lewis, I think whenever he plays against easier teams, and he just plays better. So he played against Vinicius, of course, and Nunez did start against Tottenham, I know, but when he plays against easier opponents, he does a lot better. Like, Vinicius had a poor game, so he did a lot better. I think Rico Lewis, if he can get work on that physicality next season, he can be a player that is good next season, but not in right back. I think he's more of a midfielder. And I think off the bench, I think he might go in the summer, because if I'm being brutally honest, his best games for us, they've just been 7, 8 out of 10.
He's a squad player, but that's fine. I'm fine with him being a squad player. I think for me,
But if he
I'd rather
finds
keep. I'd rather keep him in selling person because I keep him around because he's an academy player. Obviously, if he doesn't get any better in a couple of years' time, then of course sell him on, because he's still pretty young still, which is a real positive. They can obviously still growing.
He's the same age as well.
20 years old and 20, 21. So he's still pretty in that bracket of young still. So I'll probably keep him around a bit longer before selling him on. But
that works if he wants to do that. That works if he wants to do that.
Of course.
I'm just not quite sure if he wants.
I think you're right. I think personally right now I'd be okay with it, but I think a couple of years' time won't be. I think like McAtee is the exact same thing. It'll be off for summer, because why on earth would you waste your career now at his age on the bench getting any minutes game by game? You should play week in, week out at his age now, not on the bench for us.
Yeah.
So sadly,
McAtee is going to go. I think we'll do McAtee for the words. I think we'll give Leverkusen words, and or we'll give Leverkusen McAtee for the words, and we'll probably pay them maybe 120 million. I don't mind Foden starting, by the way, against Plymouth. I just think Foden needs a bit of rest, though, because he has played a few games in a row now.
Foden looks way off at the moment. I mean, I've heard obviously he hasn't got the best health policies apparently, which obviously if that's affecting him, fair enough. But it's not on the pitch. You can't just judge what you see on the pitch. It isn't great right now. So yeah, I'll rest him personally.
No, you don't, Dossiel. You don't need to ban anyone. I'll ban him if he gets too annoying. He's just trolling. Stay Humble says, Arteta's mighty challenges. City. I think he's trolling. I don't think he's being serious.
Your second, mate, and play once by Liverpool. I'd chill out, mate, if I were you. Second again.
I think he's just a troll. I doubt he's even an Arsenal fan. Look at this. He has a picture of.
You're bragging about being us 5-1. If you don't win the league, it's your own fault, mate. I'm sorry. You've won nothing. Well done. Enjoy another year of winning nothing.
He can't be serious. Arteta's mighty challengers. Like, what Arsenal fan actually takes pride in being a challenger? Like, I know Arsenal has low standards, but this guy is definitely just joking. Big up to you for subscribing. Agent 47 needs to be deported. Listen, Foden has had a poor season, but my opinion on Foden remains the same. Yeah, I thought so. See, y'all need to calm down. See, he's a City fan. What was I saying there? I got distracted now by chat. My apologies. Foden. My opinion on him stays the same. He is a decent player, and he matches the level of the players around him. When there are good players around him, he becomes better. When there are bad players around him, he becomes worse. Because he's a player that lacks individuality. And I don't say that in a sense of he lacks personality. He has a lot of personality when he plays with players he trusts. But when he doesn't trust his players, he gets scared. He thinks, if I make a mistake, my team won't back me up. That is why Foden plays poorly when he doesn't fully trust his team. And his confidence on his own now is also probably lower after the season he's had. Next season, I think Foden will come back to level. Still, we don't want to see that from Foden, of course, that he drops level. And he needs to be benched for that. He needs to be benched and shown, listen, you can't put in these performances and expect to play just because you're Foden.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean we now deport him to another fucking league, does it now?
Oh, also, Alf, as well, right? Echeverry's here now. Mamouche is here now. Players are here, mate. If you're not gonna up levels, then you can be on the bench, mate.
Yeah,
Because Echeverry isn't here to be a bench player. His mentality is, I want to get in the team ASAP. He wants to be part of the team. So all I'm gonna say is, Phil fight for place now. He has to. No one's place guaranteed anymore.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that, man? Because you're a bit silent.
Yeah, I mean, Phil Foden, it's safe to say this season has obviously been probably a couple steps down off of last season, because last season Phil Foden was unbelievable, and this season, much like City themselves, have been quite poor. But I think I agree that when the team is playing well, subsequently so is Phil. I think obviously it's a confidence problem probably in there too. Probably an accumulation of things this season have led to his poor form.
And he's had personal issues as well at the start of the season. It's probably a accumulation of things. And this season has just been bad all round. So I still think Foden next season will be good for us. I understand that people want him benched this season because he's been hoarded. And I agree with that. I want him benched in some games, especially some like Nottingham Forest. I would not be surprised if he sees the bench. But I don't want him sold yet, because I know next season he'll probably be better. So I'm not sure if that's what people are saying or what. Echeverry seemed such a nice guy, sorry, on the last Inside City. Just came out. Oh, yeah. I didn't watch that yet. Did you guys watch that?
Oh, it's good. Yeah, I watched it for the stream. It's Joe Watt. I'll be honest with you. He seems like a guy that, he's very young, obviously. And I don't think Pep will put him in the deep end yet. But if I was him, if in training you start seeing him really push it and give it a go, I'd give him a chance. Because at the end of the day, right, all let's leave now is top four. I mean, top four is pretty much fine for us now. I guess I was getting it anyway. I was locked in now to sort of get it sorted out. Why not give him a chance? Because at the end of the day, right, Kevin De Bruyne, obviously, look, it could be his last season. If it is, then obviously it is what it is. I would think now the best thing you can do now for next season is give him a chance, because this World Cup will be a real indicator of where we're going long term anyway. So you might as well start playing Echeverry, start playing maybe O'Reilly and McAtee a bit more as well if you want to play them more. And even as well, like, if you want to bring him through eventually, Mukasa for the academy. So this is a chance now where you can start giving players a chance, because look, at best it's second place, which isn't much better than where we are anyway, but it's still second place. It's secured where we are.
The only thing that's good about second place is saying, even in our worst season, we're still better than Arsenal. But for the rest, it doesn't matter, does it? But I've got a question here. Connect, how tall are you?
Oh, about 5'10" on a good day.
5'10" on a good day.
Well, 6'1".
So what is a good day and what is a bad day here?
My worst day, I'm 5'8", but my actual height is 5'9". My actual height is 5'9".
Your official height is 5'9".
Yes, my official height is 5'9".
Arteta's Mighty Challengers thinks you look 7 foot.
I'm 6'1", I think so yeah.
I'm just 6 foot.
I'm about average height. I mean, it's fine for me.
6'1" is above average, isn't it? Like
it's about average. 6 foot 6'1". Yeah.
6 foot is an average over here. So like I know that's like the lowlands region is like a bit more than average height. Anyhow, this has nothing to do with football, has it? So back on topic, that Tottenham game, yeah. Well, what I just wanted to say is in that first half, let's begin with that. We played really well, I think, and we played conservatively. We just stuck to the plan before the game. In the second half, you know what I felt like? I felt like we panicked and reverted to what we know worked because we had a poor start to that second half. And we reverted to normal Man City football, which is not the plan for Tottenham. But we got panicked, and that's why we did that. I don't think we should get panicked like that. If we play differently from usual, we have to stick with that. We have to the players have to trust in the manager first of all, even if I don't think the manager is performing well at the moment. Do you guys agree that that second half was a bit of panic setting in? Because you see the opposites a lot with Club Brugge, where Club Brugge right now has a very balanced manager, but the older manager was more defensive. So what you see sometimes with Club Brugge is gets panicked and they revert to those defensive tactics the players from the old manager. I think that's panic setting in. Do you agree with that?
I think it partly comes down to, well, I'm not going to say outright wrong, but I think it also comes down to how Tottenham acted. Tottenham in that first half were quite slow on the ball, weren't very intense, but I feel like in the second half they upped the intensity a bit and were pressing us a bit more, which subsequently led to that, I guess, that panic you speak of, and subsequently made us a bit more pass back, very much in our own half for a lot of it. And so, yeah, I think it's partly due to how Tottenham came out and partly due to us not being able to cope with it, essentially.
Yeah, I've got something here from Atletis Mighty Challengers. Echeverri has to start tomorrow, I assume he means. I'm not sure if he has to start because I'm not sure what stage he is in. I think he might start. I think he might start. That's possible, but you know why I think he might start? Because there's a lot of hype around this kid. What better game to throw him in than against Plymouth Argyle? If you put some other experienced players around him, that might work. Here's the problem. And I guess this also works. In South America, they're used to board pitches. So, I mean, I know it's at Etihad, but in South America, they're used to board pitches. So if this was away, I think he would have started then. Because board pitches, they're used to that. But because it's at the Etihad, I think he might be on the bench. I want him to start, though, just because I want to see how he looks like. He only arrived today, though, didn't he? He only arrived today.
Yesterday.
Okay.
He trained yesterday. I think. I'll be honest with you. Obviously, for me, I want to start, but I'm just going off what I think. Pep will probably go with Mamouche probably up front. I think Haaland will probably get rested for Forest away after that.
Haaland and Gvardiol probably right.
Yeah, Gvardiol, I'll give him a break. If he plays tomorrow, I'll be fuming. He has to give him a break because this guy's playing every game recently. So he must be absolutely knackered, Gvardiol. So we've got to get someone in.
About to collapse. Did you see him in the Tottenham game? Yeah, in Tottenham game, he just
knackered.
He just
in the summer, get a left back. In the summer, left back. Get one in to help him out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
I think McFarlane is already there, but McFarlane won't be starting like 20 games a season, will he? So
no,
we need to get someone else there. Because I was thinking recently about having Gvardiol in centre back together with Husanov, Diaz, and Vitor Hayes. And then having left back a new transfer coming in, as well as McFarlane there as the backup, depending on how much McFarlane is trusted, of course. So first, McFarlane has to be trusted. So I think that Gvardiol might be playing centre back soon. But then we definitely need to get a centre back in. Even if he stays left back, we need to get a new left back in and give him some rest. And what I wanted to see back when we had Ake fit was Ake on left back, Gvardiol centre back, and then Gvardiol left back when Ake got rested, and then Ake left back to rest Gvardiol, sort of rotating them around those three positions. Of course, that didn't happen because Ake ended up getting injured constantly, but I think it could have happened if they stayed fit. Next you can go.
Yeah, I mean, I think of course getting rotation in for Gvardiol is big because, like you say, against Tottenham, he just stopped. He just looked absolutely just knackered, super tired, and yeah, he needs a break, and this is that game. You know, give him a rest, and then he's got essentially, I know training included, but he's got essentially a week off before the Forest game, where hopefully he'll be
He
feeling a
doesn't
bit
need to
more
train.
fresh.
He's good enough. Give him a week. Give him a week. Don't let him come to training like just soft training. He doesn't need to do all that heavy training. Let's be honest. If you're good, you're good. 1 week won't hurt you. Maybe if it's for rest reasons, I don't mind. I've got a suggested 11 here by Ahmed. Ahmed knows ball, by the way. Ahmed keeps proving me wrong. Ortega, Nunez, Husanov, Vitor, O'Reilly. I don't think they'll both start at the same time, but I do think both will play. I think Vitor Hayes will probably come off the bench. O'Reilly, Gundo. Yeah, Pep will probably play Gundo, but
Yeah.
Okay. McAtee, Doku, Savinho, Jack Grealish, and Omar Marmoush. Yeah, I think that's. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
He's been training since Wednesday. Check Insights. So this is about Echeverri. Check Insights.
I'll put Endurance on the bench just in case. If I'm Pep, do not put a bench of kids. Put some players in case we're having a nightmare. You never know.
De Bruyne, Haaland, Foden have to be on the bench definitely. I mean, depends on
just
who doesn't play. Yeah.
If it's like 5-0, then just leave on the bench. I mean, but.
Yeah, but if you run into the same situation that Liverpool had, you're a goal down, and you have a bench of Mo Salah. Oh wait, no, you don't. You didn't take him in the squad. Why not? Right? So definitely get a bench entered that can save you in case something drastic happens. Can we agree if we lose tomorrow, sack Pep? There's no chance we lose tomorrow, but yes. Yes, but
tomorrow, mate, bloody hell.
There is no chance we lose tomorrow, I think. As long as we respect Plymouth and don't play too arrogantly, we should not lose. When else would you bring Echeverri in, Luke? You won't at Forest away. Forest away is outlast.
I know what he means. I know. I'm just trying to. I would bring him in personally. I would. But I'm just thinking about what Pep's going to do, because at the end of the day, right, I'm all for giving him a chance. I want to see him play. I really do. But also, we've got to realise that the kid's 19 coming from Argentina into Premier League. I'm not saying he can't hack it, because most players want to take it anyway.
English, to be fair.
We got to develop him. We got like him, like Vitor Hayes, like Husanov. You've got to constantly rotate them and get him part of the team. We can't just be throwing players in like save our season. Season screwed anyway. Even the FA Cup, no one's going to save our season apart from maybe ourselves winning the cup and getting second. It's not perfect, but
that's not saving the season, though.
Yeah, the season's done in terms of the league. Like, forget it. Like, at the end of the day, right? It's all about preparing now for next season.
Yeah.
That's what it has to be now. So
yeah, but what I just want to say to this as well, I don't mind if he doesn't play against Forest either, because here's the thing: the last really tough game in the league is Forest. After that, you have 10 games. Brighton is not that good right now. Brighton is not good right now. And do we play them away or at home? I'm not sure.
We're home.
Yeah.
We're home.
So they're not good right now, and we play at the Etihad. That's a difficult game, sure, because there's no easy games in the Premier League. It's not like as tough as Forest or Tottenham, who can be a jinx for us. So I'm fine with waiting for the Echeverri and then giving him 10 games maybe in a row. Not starting 10 games in a row, but like 10 games in a row coming off the bench. I think that's just fine. Luke, when else? Oh no, that's the same question previously. Luke is a legend, by the way. Yeah, all two of these. Both of these guys are legends. Go subscribe to their channel. Link is up here in the pinned comments. Courtesy of Das Shield, putting the pinned comments in there all the time. Extra time, or we need to win it regular time. But
yes.
We
need the 90 minutes.
I'm going to cry if you go back to
time.
Yeah, exactly.
It should be a straightforward game. It should be straightforward. Like, just take them seriously, get the job done. I don't want anything. Almost Plymouth, they're bottom of the league. No, none of that rubbish. Like, they're a team in football.
And cups, like we lost to Wigan in 2013. We lost to it was Southampton, right, in the treble season.
League Cup, that was, yeah. The League
Yeah.
Cup.
Yeah,
The
League
worst
Cup
one.
treble season, Southampton.
Quarterfinal, yeah.
We lost against a French team. We lost against
Lyon.
Lyon. I always get confused between Lille and Lyon. We
Yeah.
lost against Lyon in Champions League. We suck at knockout
Monaco.
competitions if you take it. Monaco was very good that season, to be fair.
Monaco good team.
They're the
Yeah,
super
good team.
team.
Echeverry understood English quite well. Yeah, exactly. But that's another advantage of these young players, I suppose. The internet is carrying the younger generations. By the way, Lucas' uncle's playing over him better. I don't understand this question.
No. I'm not saying that. I trust me. I want to see him play.
the
I'm
old
just
days.
saying. I'm all. If he starts Saturday, I'm all for it. But I just think don't against Forest though. I'm not, because the reality is that in the Premier League it's a whole different ball game. The FA Cup, whole different intensity, whole different level from home. The last thing you want is him getting bloody cut into and getting injured. So again, I'm not defending him. I'm just sort of thinking you got to manage him.
Yeah.
Rather throw him in the deep end, which I know that sounds like I'm protecting someone, but the reality, I play this rest of the squad as well as him, so it's a hard one. It's not straightforward. It's a hard one.
I don't think our crowd will be quiet because the season has been bored, and we've been struggling in recent times with crowd. We'll talk about that later, by the way, because I think that's a perfect topic to end stream off on, because I know we all have opinions on that. But if they are louder than us at the Etihad, when they're probably losing 2 or 3-0, that would be tragic. That'll be tragic.
They're probably going to be, mate, because it is, mate. It's a home game, and their away support will be massive.
You remember in the treble season after the charges got dropped, and in the 4-beat season, the crowd was so loud. The crowd at the Etihad was very loud, and there was that chant about Den Haag. Den Haag is a clown, yada yada.
Oh yeah.
That chant was being sung every game. We need that type of atmosphere back, you know.
I don't think you get that back for a while, mate. I think the problem is this season's been a real low point for the fan base, balls and everything else. Like, to get that back, it would need to be a summer of City really showing loyalty to fans in terms of the situation. Also,
I think, and hopefully, we beat the charge. Like, the court case is already done. Hopefully, the announcement about if we beat the Chargers comes out after the season is done. So let's say we win the FA Cup, and then the news is dropped that we beat 115. That might, and I say might, reinvigorate the crowd. But now I'm pulling at straws. I'm gonna go in a circle here with the next question. When will we see O'Reilly in midfield? Come on, Pep, from Richie. Big up for subscribing. Go next, you can start.
I mean, the O'Reilly situation has frustrated me so much this season, and it's not just me, most City fans probably. Because I remember his preseason, and I remember a quote from Pep, and it's always stuck with me. He said, "If Rodri gets injured, Nico O'Reilly can cover him. He's not covered him once." And look, there's clearly a great player in Nico. You know, the preseason tells you that, and I think in his cameos that he has had this season, I think he's looked pretty good. So yeah, I think it all comes down to how Pep rates him, because
here is my thing, and I'm sorry for the interrupting, but tell me if you agree with this. I think Pep was expecting O'Reilly to play next to Rodri a few games, and then if Rodri got injured, maybe like halfway through the season, O'Reilly could cover him. He wasn't expecting Rodri to get injured at the start of the season.
Yeah, I think that is a valid point. You know, the injury obviously took everyone off guard. Yeah. So yeah, O'Reilly's probably not had the season he would have hoped, and Pep has probably not been able to utilize him as he would have hoped because Rodri's not been here to I guess mentor him in a sense. But hopefully next season we can see him a bit more. Hopefully tomorrow we should see him. But yeah, I think it's got to be, in terms of getting a bit more minutes for Nico, I think it's got to be looking next season, to be honest.
I forgot about this Javier Tebas thing. I actually forgot about this. This just left my brain.
Of the Chargers,
So
yeah, whatever.
before we talk about that, Luke, what's your take on that O'Reilly and midfield thing?
Yeah, I'm not connected. I'm just for me, right? It stinks of not getting enough game time and then being sold on someone else. Because I know he kept it from Chelsea, and I get it. But the thing is, we've not seen anything from Pep to get any kind of game time. It's been very consistent. Now I get if you have you have trust experienced players. I understand that. But how on earth are we going to find out if Ari's good enough if he doesn't get a chance? So I'm all for playing him. I want to see him more than this season. You might as well do it this point anyway. But like McAtee, I know obviously he's younger than McAtee, so obviously he'll have more time to prove himself anyway. I don't want him becoming like Palmer McAtee though. Eventually, you get to the point where you're too old not to be playing week in, week out.
Yeah, that's a problem we have had with a lot of youth players. And met zie Kurt, mooi klapkijk West Vlaams. Ik ben geen Hollander. Let's see. Thank you for subscribing. You probably didn't understand any of that. West Flemish is like the hellish dialect. You know how like there's that Glaswegian dialect that nobody understands? That's like West Flemish. Nobody understands it. Even, you know what's so funny, yeah? Like, West Flemish is not really a dialect. It's like Bruges dialect. It's like Tielt. It's Roeselare. There's a bunch of different dialects. And even like Roeselare and Ieper can't understand each other. It's such hellish dialects. And that's like really close together, bro. Dialects are so bad in West Flanders. I don't know why that's the case. It says you're very playing tomorrow. I think from the bench. We talked about that a bit earlier. I think probably from the bench, I want him to play too. I want him to start, but Pep will probably take him off the bench. So, with that said, we do have some questions here about the Innocents, the 115. I'm so tired about this, bro. I'm
bored of it.
115.
I don't care anymore.
Here's my take, and I'm gonna make it brief because I don't care about it. If we were guilty, we would not have spent 200 million in January. That's my take on it.
Exactly. It is innocence, mate. I'm at the point where I'm just done with it. And the thing is, right, no matter what happens out of this case, it'll always be, oh, well, City paid him off. And I'm like, I can't bother to go with that narrative. Like, if fans already decided to never give it anyway, you ever get them anyway? You won't, because no matter what happens, they're going to hate us anyway. So, to anyone who's going to get pissed off at anyone sort of having to go at us still after that, block and ignore, because these people don't like us anyway. And we'll decide how it's anyway. For me, just is what it is. I'm just thinking, you know what? If it's innocence, great. That's it's a big win overall for the season. That's that way now. But like Alves, I'm done with it now. I'm bored of just the narrative, bored of the constant news about it. It's just tedious now.
Yeah.
Connect surprised me. Are you bored of this?
It's similar to what you guys said. You know, just want to hear it now. You know, you probably still get comments from time to time saying 115 and all that, and it don't affect me.
See them anymore. I haven't seen any comments about 115 in a while on my channel. I used to get them on every video. I haven't seen them in a time. I'm not sure about you two.
I get them from time to time.
Do you know what it is? I think it's because of what we're on the league. No one really cares, and that's fine with me, because I think the issue is, right, because we're not in a title race this year. We're not the title race 30 points clear now, so it's kind of over now for the title race. But the fact is, we're not in that running now for Europe, and so we're kind of out of the question this year. So it's quite quiet, which in a way is quite good. You know, we're out of that spotlight. It's a bit more to sort of just undercover now, get it sorted out, obviously, behind the scenes after that, get a win from there and carry on and build from there. But yeah, I noticed it myself on my own channel. It's just dead now. It's dead.
Yeah. You know what's funny about you say about that? Rival fans normally they we don't care about City. They actually don't care about City this season. Previous seasons when they said that, they were only talking about Man City. Next season, they'll be saying, we don't care about Man City anymore, but they'll still be talking about us all the time. You know, when rival fans cared about Man City, when they have to tell everyone they don't care about Man City. Predictions
Yeah.
on tomorrow. I'll go 3-1. We'll concede a goal because we're bozos, but we should win comfortably. So 3-1. Connect.
I always like to go confident, so I'm going to go hopefully back in a clean sheet with 4-0.
I'll go 5-1. I think we'll get a few this go. Look, Plymouth. Look, big up to them for getting this far. Beat Brentford, beat Liverpool. Every right to be sort of taken seriously. But this team has really got to make a really good chance to play. Like Tottenham for me was real. Like right, well done for getting the win and the clean sheet, but the goal scoring was diabolical. So we got to make sure that Marmoush gets goals, Doku gets some goals. Just get a performance in. Obviously, gets us through the game anyway, but in the hat for next round. But just get some a performance to be proud of. So yeah, 5-1.
Yeah. Dacilt asks it. Do any Man City fans still care about 115? No.
No.
I don't think anyone really cares at this point. You know what the thing was, yeah? When 115 first came out, when it first was like coming out, like midway through the treble season, we were kind of like surprised by it. I don't think any Man City fan at any point, correct me if I'm mistaken, I don't think any of us at any point thought we were guilty. Because the club has always been so confident about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always been pretty confident on it. And also the club has said that apparently we have irrefutable evidence.
Since day one.
Yeah, and irrefutable evidence is evidence that can't be denied. And so if that's true, then it's only right we back the club. And if it's not true, then we only have the club to look at.
Here's my thing, yeah, because obviously as someone who is studying accounting in a university right now, I have always thought, like, you know, the rival argument of like, where there's smoke, there's fire. Here's the thing, right? That is so dumb. that is so dumb. You clearly don't understand how accounting and how lawsuits work. Almost 70% of economic lawsuits end up being found not guilty. So if you're going to say, oh, well, where there's smoke, there's fire, you're telling me that 70% of economic lawsuits, which end in not guilty verdicts, are actually guilty, but they paid off the judges? Like, what are we saying? It's so ridiculous. I've never cared for it. I've never cared for the judges themselves. I used to care about the rivals, their opinions on it, but even that, I don't care anymore. At the start, I cared kind of, but now I don't. So yeah, thoughts on Højlund? Thoughts on Højlund shamelessly claiming a goal against Ipswich and celebrating an own goal. To be fair, you don't always know that it's an own goal. Sometimes as a striker, you think, okay, it's a deflected goal, but nah. To be fair, I was shameless like that too. When I knew sometimes it was an own goal, and I would still celebrate. And I didn't even have a crowd. I was just playing in the youth teams. Mark Goldbridge always talks about us, and apparently he doesn't care about City. Yeah, bro, you know what it is, yeah? He needs to get them views up. If I want to get my views up, I would talk about Arsenal, Liverpool, and I would do the Belgian League every week. Because if you go through my watch-alongs, yeah? Go to my most watched watch-alongs. I get over 1,000 views regularly on Belgian League watch-alongs. So why don't I do Belgian League every week? Because other than the top teams in Belgium, they play shit football. That's why I don't watch it. Mark Goldbridge isn't like that. He does things for the views. And I think it's so easy to see when people do things for the views and when people do it because they genuinely care. I watch La Liga, which is some of my worst views that I get from that, because I like watching La Liga. If I wanted more views, I would watch a lot more Premier League and Belgian League. But I prefer La Liga. And Mark Goldbridge, he's not like that. I don't know how. I don't know what to say. I could not be motivated to work on this channel every day if I had to lie. Like, could you guys be motivated to do that?
No, I'd rather get like, you know, a scrubber every day if I knew telling the truth than 20 subs a day if it was lying. Like in the day, right? want an audience that knows what they're going to say as it is, rather than lie. They just lie, because lying, you get the views, yeah, cool, but in reality, you're thinking I'm not telling the truth, and you feel guilty about it because eventually you think, well, the money's cool, but if you do it the right way, how you want to do it, then if 10 times better, they would be doing it if you're lying.
So Connect, I think you're going to say pretty much the same, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he builds what he's got off of lies, obviously not. But
I think he started. Here's the thing: I used to watch more Goldbridge when he was doing FIFA, and I enjoyed his content a lot. But because he was just, he had his moments, but like he was generally speaking, he was generally speaking chill, and now he's just constantly lying. I preferred Mark Goldbridge when he was just doing FIFA streams.
I don't watch a lot of Mark Goldbridge, to be honest.
I don't watch him
I don't anymore. I used to watch him.
Yeah, I've obviously seen popular clips that blow up or something. But yeah, I mean, I'd rather, like Luke rightly said, I'd rather just speak my truth and gain one sub a day, rather than lie and get 100 subs a day.
Yeah,
I'd rather just say what comes from.
I completely agree. I've got a question here from Arteta's Mighty Challengers. Sorry for making you wait for a while. But if we lose to Plymouth, what will the conversation be on the manager? I'll go first. If we lose to Plymouth, there is no conversation. You cannot lose to Plymouth when you've been given 200 million in January. That is unacceptable.
No.
There is no conversation. Lose that game, and with all the season on top of that, get out. I don't care how good you can be in the future. There is simply a level that you have to show that the manager is not above the club. It is simply a point. Losing to Plymouth, for me, after the season we have had, is that point. We've lost the games to Southampton, as I said earlier before. And we did not sack Pep, because in that season, Pep was playing good. We were second, or we were top of the league, I'm not sure.
It was a shock. It was a shock result, is what
it
is.
was a shock result.
That did happen.
That was just once in a while. This season, it's been all season. Now, that will be next level embarrassment. So that's why it's not the same that's why it's not the same as previous seasons. And that's why it has to be the final straw. We'll start with Connect on this one.
I'll quickly say that for me, it depends on the nature of the defeat. Like, if we are clearly tactically outbeat by Plymouth, then you do have to start looking in certain directions. Okay, but if it's a story of imagine the chances we missed against Tottenham times a million, and we just can't put the ball in the back of the net. And
Celtic team.
and Plymouth get a lucky one off or something. Then again, it depends on the nature of the defeat for me. Personally, I wouldn't be Pep out if we lost, because again, this season the FA Cup is all we've got going left for us, and so it is absolutely crucial that we drive towards that. But for me, this season, as long as we get top four, and if we can get the FA Cup too, it's brilliant. Well, it's not brilliant, but it's as good as it can be. It's just about next season for me. The FA Cup and top four is all I really care about now.
Yeah, I agree on that. I've been Pep out since Feyenoord, so I'm just looking for the next excuse to say it. That was sarcastic, by the way. I know some people don't get that. Luke?
Joe, what? Right, I wouldn't be Pep out, but I think what I would be, I'm thinking, well, next season, if you don't get it right next season, then I'm sorry, you have to go, because the reality is, right, I'm all I'm all for the idea of credit in the bank, and it is a thing. He has got enough credit to last him a season with relatively no success. But if you start doing it over and over again, and next season you see similar patterns again, you got to ask the question, Pep, what are you doing? Because if I keep seeing these errors appear in making subs and how we're playing the game, I'm still sitting thinking, right, it's clearly not working anymore. Because again, people think I'm saying that it's blasphemous. It's not. Pep. It's not Man City. Man City will still be here after Pep is gone. That
We'll still spend money when Pep is gone.
exactly. So look, I'm not saying like for me to see like look, just get the FA Cup. I'm sorry, right? The players should be locked in to get this cup now. There's no one left that scares me anymore. Like you should just go in there and get the results now. But losing to Plymouth, I would think, you know what? Not necessarily at Pep per se, but the players. What the players doing? The reality is, it's just Pep here. That's the issue. The players have let themselves down as well at times. Like they've been performances that have been generally embarrassing. Some of the mistakes, I'm like, the mistakes as well that have been the most annoying thing about it. Like the amount of times that we give the ball away so cheaply for certain teams.
Yeah,
like,
that's right. And that's not
a Pep thing, though, Alf. That's not a Pep thing. That's
not
a players
a Pep thing. I'm not saying that's a Pep thing, but don't you think that comes down to confidence because the season has been so poor?
Yeah, that's why I said that's why I said collectively it's a mistake. If next season happens again, then something has to change. That's where I'm at of it now. Like I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh no, Pep can stay forever." No, I'm not doing that. Like at the end of the day, right? We're a football club, and we'll have to have results. I'm not asking to win the league every year because that doesn't happen. Even Bayern do it every year. But I want to be competing every year.
I was about to say, yeah, even Bayern don't do it every year because Ozil didn't get it.
Sorry, that's still but it's true. Last year, Leverkusen won it, so. But that's the thing. Like, I want to be competing every year. Competing to the very end is the minimum I expect.
Yeah,
that's what.
I completely agree with that. I will beat that Pep out because I don't fully agree with the credit in the bank thing because I think credit in the bank relies on the argument that you'll repeat that in the future. That's what credit in the bank means, I think. And I don't believe it's that simple. I think when you have a bad season as a manager, you have to show evidence that you will still improve next season. And for Pep, I feel like if after the transfers that he made in January, and I know, they did not take to save the season, but it had to give us stability. And we didn't have stability immediately after those transfers came in. So that's why I'm saying, I mean, let's be honest. Sacking him now is just dumb. Sacking him right now will be weird. But because we can't save the season anymore. So you might as well give him the first 2-3 months of next season and see how he does. But credit in the bank is simply not a concept I agree with. Top 4 this season, from chat, top 4 this season and the FA Cup will be a better season than Arsenal. Assuming Arsenal don't win Champions League, which they never will.
Seriously, next Champions League, I'll laugh if they win Champions League. Like how, like Mourinho up front. Come on, no, like PSG should beat him. In reality, PSG should beat them. So
if PSG gets they will actually beat them. So yeah, I think we all agree. If we win the FA Cup this season and get top 4, we've had a better season.
Way better season. Trophy in a top 4.
Thoughts
if we get a trophy in top 4, what's going on with a 13? I'm taking it. I'm taking it massively to get a trophy in top 4.
You know what's funny? I saw a stat today. Earlier in the season, like I think it was after we won against Nottingham Forest. If we won every game that from there on, which obviously we weren't, but if we won every game from there on, we would have finished on like 92 or 93 points, which is the same amount as when Liverpool finished a point behind us when we beat Aston Villa. And there were a lot of people making jokes about that at the time. Imagine if that happens after going 1 win in 13. the rival Delta would have been insane, man. Thoughts on the La Liga, President Clown. Yeah, you know what the thing is with him? He's a Real Madrid fan. He's publicly a Real Madrid fan. And he's probably still salty that Vinicius Jr. didn't win the Ballon d'Or. That's about all I can say about that. Do we think, like, how long is Stables his starting, by the way? Isn't he gone soon?
I think so, yeah. Well, it's funny, right? Because the thing is, right, he's going on about, it's proof that we've done stuff wrong. Well, if that's the case, mate, the commission would have found it themselves.
Has he said that?
But right, he's trying to insinuate that he has evidence that we have cut the books right. Yeah, why?
Did he say that?
Why go to us for? No, but
I actually didn't see
yeah.
that. Did he say that? Because you know why I'm asking, yeah? If he has evidence that we've booked the book, why would he make that public? Because surely you don't want Man City to be prepared. Why would you make that
I'll tell you
public?
what it is.
That's so dumb.
It's an agenda. It's an agenda.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, right? Why is it always us? Why not PSG? Why not anyone else that have owners that are different than us? It always seems to be because the reality is we have challenged Madrid. Madrid are better than us right now. That's twice now in the last 2 years. But
Yeah.
we're pushing them now every year, and he doesn't like that. He doesn't want English football to be obviously competing in it. So
Whoever's decision it was that Bernardo Silva should take the first penalty.
Don't
Why?
don't
Why?
that Champions League quarterfinal, mate. Honestly, that shootout went all wrong when Coventry and Bernardo Silva did that.
Can't believe it.
We need
Like,
Ederson.
you bring off Haaland, De Bruyne, mate. I was like, oh, we're done. Like, if you bring off Haaland, De Bruyne at that
Yeah.
point, the
You
penalty.
know what our penalty order needs to be? Haaland, De Bruyne, because if you're old, it doesn't matter for the penalties, right? Old players can still take good penalties.
Yeah.
So Haaland, De Bruyne, Ederson. Well, I would say Foden, but he's not been great this season. But
Savinho's for good penalties.
we'll say
Okay,
Savinho.
Savinho.
And then who do we pick fifth? Is Nico Gonzalez good at penalties?
Ilkay?
Nico Ilkay.
Ilkay is pretty.
Nico?
Gavardio for
Gvardiol.
penalties.
Gvardiol, yeah.
Right.
I would actually put Gvardiol over Foden then. I would put Foden fifth and Gvardiol fourth. So yeah, who do you guys want to qualify next? Newcastle or Brighton? You mean for like top
what,
five?
the FA Cup? Brighton.
I think he means for like Champions League, but Newcastle. I mean, if he means like
FA Cup, because both playing this weekend. That's what it means. Yeah.
Okay.
I want Brighton. I want Brighton because Newcastle,
Yeah.
Isak. We won 4-0, but Newcastle are dodgy at times. Yeah, they've got everyone fit. They're a menacing players. So
Newcastle are weak right now. Newcastle are right now weak, but as the season progresses, their players get back in shape and stuff. They'll get better and better. So I want them.
Marmoush, that was it. Marmoush penalties. Sorry, I just saw.
Marmoush.
Yeah, Marmoush.
I forget. Marmoush. Yeah, he's on. I forget he's
we need to do an entire stream on penalties. This is like a big.
We will
man.
at some point. We will at some point.
Okay, but it's just sealed. That's entirely different. United fell off when Fergie left. He says. Yeah, but United was doing poor before Fergie left because the ownership changed. That is entirely different.
Yeah.
United had a very big decline when Fergie was still there, when the ownership changed. The ownership at Man United has been the problem for a long time.
Yeah.
But we have won trophies with this ownership, like league titles, before Pep game. If Pep leaves, we now have even more money to spend than when Pep first arrived. Which, by the way, when Pep first arrived, we saved up money for Pep. We saved up money throughout seasons because otherwise we would spend more. So that when Pep arrives, he could spend that money. So it was a very different situation. And this ownership now, we don't need to save up anymore if we want to spend like that. We can just do it now. So, of course, if we do that every season, we won't have any money left. But if we get a new manager, we can just, like this, spend that money. So it's an entirely different situation than Man United. When Fergie left Man United, his squad was old as fuck, wasn't it?
He
it was an old
carried
squad.
that team.
Yeah.
Mate, the thing is, right, United were a mess even when Fergie was actually winning stuff, mate. They were a real mess behind the scenes, but it was covered up by Fergie doing so well as manager. It was good. It was great. It was because he was so good at being a manager. He managed to cover up all the cracks. The problem is, as we're seeing now, with you're having to staff go, pack lunches now rather than canteen food. You're having to cut down costs now. This isn't actually a surprise. It would surprise me if United get towards bankruptcy. The way it's going because how they going to afford
that? Would surprise me a lot. That would surprise me.
No, but the whole stadium stuff getting let go in that in the hundreds now. Like that is for a club at United. That's absolutely madness. And they're trying to get
surely
new ground as well.
They can't be that
Well,
deep yet, can't they?
If they can't get to Europe, mate, that's a lot of money lost. A lot of money lost. So
keep going
yeah,
the way they're going.
Yeah, if they keep going like 5 years, there's no way it'll be like that in 5 years from now, right?
well, we don't know, mate, because the reality is Amorim will not save United because Amorim can't do it because no one can save them. The only thing that can be saved is their owners get replaced.
You know what the thing is at Man United? That ownership has failed multiple managers. And I made a video on Erik ten Hag. I don't know if you guys have watched that. I think Erik ten Hag, if you actually look at him, he is a decent coach, not a great coach, a decent coach, but a terrible manager. And what I mean with that is tactics, he's not great, but he's decent. Improving plays, he's not great, but he's decent. But he's a horrible manager. Every time you give that guy money, he will make the dumbest signings you've ever seen. And that's why Man United is now in this situation. They need to do a better job with their managers. They need, when you have a manager who is good or decent, just decent at tactically improving your team, get your sporting director to manage the sales. That's what they did with Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp, great, ridiculously good tactical manager. He was left out of a lot of transfers because they knew this guy, he's not great at that talent idea. So you need to understand your manager and play to his strengths. Pep Guardiola is a very rare all-round manager. Even Fergie was not an all-round manager. He was more of a manager than a coach. Fergie. If you listen to interviews of players that played under him, he wasn't at training a lot of times. He was in his office, actually managing the club. Look, he might as well have been CEO. He was CEO who came to the pitch sometimes to train with them. You need to play to the strengths of managers. And that ownership here is absolutely not doing that. They just throw every manager in and say, well, good luck. And we are different from that. I can't stand from chat here now. And we'll go around the circle again. I can't stand YouTubers like Burvey and Nobbins who think they know it all. Especially Burvey, who hangs out with Rory Jennings and MC Gola.
Nobbins is fine.
Is that his name?
Nobbins, I don't really get that, mate. I mean, Nobbins is a very tactical analysis YouTuber. He's not a know-it-all.
Here's the thing. He's smart, but he can be condescending. I understand why people dislike him because he can be condescending to others.
I understand. I get it, but I think everyone's different. It depends how people are with it. I mean, for me, I find him okay myself, but I know everyone's different. Boovy's, I don't know, man. Like that's a whole different thing there with Boovy. I mean, it's weird, right? Because I didn't realize, right? But years and years ago, before he was actually even relevant in the space, I think he did YouTube. I think I had more followers than one point. He messaged me asking for a shout out or something like that. He'll say that's as bald bollocks who sees this, but I've got proof of it in the actual bloody chat anyway. But it's weird how that's worked out.
He had more subscribers than you, and he asked for a shout out.
No. Back in 2018, 17, so this is before he was on with Jordan, Rory and that. Yeah. Go back up. If you want proof one day, I will share it one day on the next show if you want me to share proof. But I'm not, I don't really care anyway. Even his thing now with being whatever it wants to be. So, but I just find it funny how it works, really. But yeah.
2017. Yeah. That is 8 years ago.
That's a while.
That's 8 years ago, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I've been doing this since
weird,
like mid 2024. So yeah, I don't know what you think about that connect, but here's my take. I just don't watch them if I don't like them.
Yeah,
simple as that. Not sure what you think.
I mean, my personal thoughts on those two specifically. I'm not gonna lie. I don't watch City YouTube as much as they used to. Like back before I started my channel, I used to watch it all the time. Like literally.
All three of us can agree on that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same, really. I'm kind of the same. Yeah, I'm very limited now who I watch nowadays. But
here is the funny thing here is the thing that people need to understand about YouTubers. Everyone I talk to, all YouTubers say the same thing. I used to watch a lot more YouTube, but then I started my channel, and now I watch a lot less YouTube. We all agree on that, right? I think YouTubers, the time that we used to spend watching YouTube, we're just working on our channels, right?
Yeah, I mean, exactly, because, I used to watch City Extra all the time, and I'd always have their stream on for the games because I used to like to watch their reactions, but now I watch the games. Now I can't watch any of those. And then I used to watch their match reviews. Now I do the match reviews and stuff like that. So, yeah. I don't really get that time anymore. I do sometimes tune in to them from time to time because I do like doing it still, but nowhere near as much as I used to.
Bit of news. City released a video just now on Twitter of Rodri on the pitch kicking football around. Training on.
Please don't play this guy, bro. I know Pep is gonna.
No, I'm not. I'm pleased that he's training again. It's good.
Oh, yeah,
obviously with the squad.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this season. I'm just saying that it's good seeing him back on the pitch again. It's good.
Yeah, that is good, but we all know why.
But I'm not playing in the season. No, I'm not. I'm giving him the rest of the season off. Club World Cup, maybe. A few games.
It looks like individual training from what I'm watching here.
Yeah, I can't see him being back. I reckon April time, he'll probably back probably in the squad probably.
Yeah,
but that's a huge boost. Look, in terms of the league's done. But next season, mate, especially with him coming back into full fitness, it's a huge boost.
Yeah. So another question from chat: would you prefer Theo Hernandez, who is gonna be 28 next season? So Theo Hernandez, which is still young, or it's the prime, Livramento, or Cambiasso? I would love Theo Hernandez. I have been Theo Hernandez. Yeah, I have been Theo Hernandez's biggest defender for a while. Why do people not rate him? He's such a baller. Why do people not rate him?
It's like Rafael Leao, mate. Because Rafael Leao, I think, is a good player in there. The issue is he's playing for AC Milan. Milan aren't the team he used to be. They're a very average team. Like
Leao is just.
Leao and
this is the thing with Leao. He has purple patches. Like his decision making is awful. Like he's
I think
player.
a better manager gets best of him though. I think a good manager gets best out. He's shown signs of it. Look, for me personally, I always thought Kvaratskhelia was best winger in the Serie A before he left, obviously to Paris anyway. Yeah. But someone like Leao, but he's still young enough to get better. But I think he needs to leave AC Milan to do that.
How old is Leao?
He needs to be
25, 26 this year.
I was okay. I'm way off then. I'm way off. I thought he was younger than that. Okay. But this is what I mean. Like for me personally, I went with City personally. He's not for me at City, but I think he's definitely a player that can go on to a bigger club and do really well. But I just feel like it's just Hernandez to me is someone that I think would actually improve us massively. Because imagine him bombing that left hand side like Doku and that. Imagine that.
Imagine this: left back Theo Hernandez, centre back Vardiol, Diaz, right back Husanov, and then you can have Cambiasso on right back as well. Because maybe not Cambiasso because his injury record is awful, but we've talked about. By the way, while you were at Head Connect, have you seen Cambiasso's injury records?
Not for me, mate.
No,
it's worse than John Stones.
Worse than John Stones? Oh.
This guy's injury records, bro.
Especially
he has a walking injury, bro. Like this season, he might be better than John Stones, but it's like in general, oh my days, that injury record is woeful. So yeah, Cambiasso, I played like him, but not someone with that record, right? Nobbins attacks anyone who disagrees with his tactical points. I don't think it's attacking, I just think it's being condescending, and I agree. That's why I don't watch Nobbins anymore. I think he's very condescending.
What I will say is in terms of that South channel, and I'm big up to them. I was on that before when it first started out. I wish they actually got more people like you guys on there, because the reality is, if you're going to do a channel based on City YouTube, there's plenty more out there that you can go for that are smaller, that have audiences that you get more exposure to. I feel like it's still very much on the bigger channel still, or people that they know around them. Again, I'm not criticizing. I think it's a good idea for a channel. If
As
you're going to,
as a smart channel head, let me play devil's advocate, and then you can respond to this. If you want to bring in those smaller channels and give those smaller channels a shout out, you first need to build up a channel to be big enough for that. And to do that, you need to
Fair
bring
enough.
into bigger channels.
I get that, but I wish they. This is a thought. I'm not against. I do like what they do over there, and I do watch it, and I really do enjoy what they do. And obviously, I'm not going to go in myself, but I just want to see to start seeing more people get a chance on there. But I'm sure he will. But I think for me, I want to see everyone a bit more together in the community, rather separate from certain areas. But that's just me anyway.
Yeah, I've not watched a single episode, by the way, of the South Stand. I've subscribed to them and I heard they were making the channel. I've not watched a single thing there. Again, I just don't have time to watch like all these YouTubers. I used to watch the Gun all the time and
There's too
LP.
many shows.
Like, but you can keep up with it. You can keep up with it as long as you're not doing YouTube yourself. If you're doing YouTube yourself, now you're doing shows at the same time as them. So now you can't keep
Yeah, I
up.
know. Yeah.
So yeah. We had this conversation already, Connect, over that Luke's channel. So, what is your opinion on the new kits?
The new kit, the stripe
one. Yeah. The sash.
Look, for me, I tend to. It's a bit of a safe one. I tend to like to wait for it to be on the players to wait to get a proper look at it, because at the moment we're looking at obviously a leak. So far, I think the blue is, I don't know, something about the blue is just a bit weird. It's not your typical city blue. So that is probably
sky blue. Like, it's not even sky blue.
Yeah, that is my biggest peeve at the moment with it. Like, it's just very weird. I can't even put my finger on it. It almost looks like they sprinkled a bit of green in there. I'm not too sure.
You know what it looks like? It looks like a Coventry City kit.
I actually thought of
that. I don't like it. I really don't like it. And we've gone over this already at Luke's channel. That we need to start getting good kits, man. Because I'm not buying these kits. I want to buy these kits. I'm not buying that kit. It's ugly. I don't like any kit we have this season. I know that away kit, it's like historic. I'm fine with that. I just don't like how it looks. But we need to make some good kits here, because I mean, my oldest kit here is a kit I've got from Turkey, from a random shop there, so that's not even a real kit. We need to get some proper kits here so I can actually buy one. Trying to put the back. But yeah, you know what I want to see? I want to see a circular neck again, no V-neck or anything like that, just a circular neck. And I want to see a white collar, white arms, and then do a design on it. Like, don't be lame. But like, Man City is always very plain, right? And it gets. Try something new, sure, but make it work. If you're like gonna bring in a sash, do sky blue and do a sash. If you want a white sash, yeah, do a just sash all the way around, and maybe put a red line in it or something, because that's the goals of the away kits that we're trying to remake, right? It was white and red. So be a bit creative with it, but if you're going to do a sash, it needs to go all the way through, I think. And you need to put some proper coloration in there. You can't just do like blue kits and sash. And make the sash square as fuck. Like, what is that sash even? Is that a sash or is that a Kamehameha? It looks so dumb.
Yeah, it's a strange design at the moment, and I'm hoping that the leak is a bit of an earlier stage version of the kit, maybe. So,
Concept kit, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, hopefully in a couple months when it actually drops, it looks somewhat better.
I pray to God.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what thing is as well? Me and Luke talked about this as well. If you look at our past few seasons, yeah, You remember the swimming pool kit?
Swimming pool kit.
2021 swimming pool kit.
What? The one where Jack Grealish signed. That one, or the
Yeah.
one with the cracks. Ah, okay.
Yeah. That was
Um,
so dumb. That was such a dumb kit. Like the only good kits in the 4-beat season was the treble season. Like the 4-beat season was decent. The treble season had good kits, like 5 kits. Then the 2 season before that was shit. Like why can't we get a decent kit? Like we have generally fan-made kits that look a dozen times better.
Yeah.
Luke has disappeared. And we finally got everyone on again. Do you need some time, Luke, or he'll be back in a second, I imagine. So anyhow, on to the last subject of the day. The next, after the FA Cup game, we have a few easy games coming up in the Premier League. And I'm just going to draw it up as well here. So our next game is Nottingham Forest. After that, it is Brighton at home. After that, Leicester at home. And then we have Man United away. That's Old Trafford maybe can be a bit difficult despite how shit Man United is. From there on out, we have Crystal Palace at home again. Everton at Goodison Park. And we also have Aston Villa at home again. Aston Villa not been great this season. Wolves at home. Southampton away. Bournemouth at home. And then we close the season off on Fulham away. That looks like easy games there, don't you think? Easy games to round off the season?
It's certainly a better run than certain teams have.
Terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. We need to be picking up the majority of points there. Certain games can be hiccups. The Forest ground is obviously a difficult one. You know, Forest
That's
tends
how
to
it
play
lost
their
the
best
game,
there.
I think.
Yeah. Old Trafford, you know, say what you like about United this season. End of the day, it is a derby, sadly. And well, I say sadly because anything happens in a derby. You know, we saw it in December. Or was it November? It doesn't matter.
December.
It was still awful.
Yeah.
That game.
Do you remember the Black Thunderbolt kit last season?
Oh yeah.
We barely wore that.
Yeah, that was like 3 times.
Yeah.
That was our best kit that season. We barely wore that. Like that should be a front against humanity that we didn't wear that.
Yeah, it tends to be the case with the away kit and the third kit. There tends to be obviously your home kit gets worn the most, but then one of the away kits will get worn a lot more than the other, and then one of them's just kind of left in the dust.
You know what my thing is as well, though? Which is funny that I say this because the kit behind me is a third kit. I hate third kits. Just do 2 kits, a home kit and an away kit. Like why do you have to have 20 different kits? I think that's annoying. I think they do it just to sell more kits, to be honest.
Yeah, that is it.
Like you know what they do? They play. Then if you get to a final, they will play the kits that they've worn the least, because then people will buy that shirt if you win that final. For the treble season, we obviously wore our home kit in all the finals, but in both finals. But what I've seen other teams do here is they get to a big final. They wear their third kit. And then it's like, come on. You're just trying to sell this kit in case you win the final. Like, let's be honest, that's why you're doing it. I don't like business models like that. It's very scam. I don't think you need more than 2 kits a season. Not sure if you agree with that, Luke.
Yeah, I agree. I think these 4th kits and that's just ridiculous. It's just to get more money out of the fans. Honestly, I'm not doing that, but it won't stop because merchandise is money in it, so it won't stop at all. Fortunately,
We're apparently the only team. We're apparently the only team that has worn 4 kits this season. I mean, why do we need so many kits? And we wear the worst kits. We have like 4 kits. And the best one of those 4, we wear the least. Like come on. Why? Are you trying to troll us? Are you trying to troll us over there? But yeah. Luke, you were gone. You disappeared for a while. So what are your thoughts then on the ending run of the Premier League season? I suppose I'll ask both of you this. How many points as well will we pick up in that last few games, those last 11 games?
Last 11 games. For me, the aim should be getting 33 because the reality is we've got to be. Everyone got remaining. None of them are Arsenal, Liverpool, or anyone else. That's really difficult. It should be about winning every game now.
Yeah.
End season strong. That's what I should be looking for now. Any more losses is embarrassing. It has to be wins from now on. Has to be wins.
Pick up Dirty Sanchez. It's been a while. However, yeah, I completely agree. I think if we like have 31 or 29 points there, like 2 draws, I don't mind that too much. If it's like a drawing at Old Trafford, like I want to win every game at Old Trafford, of course, but let's be honest. In a derby, form does greatly matter. So if he gets a draw against Forest, I also don't mind. If we get a draw against United, I prefer a win. It's not the biggest of issues. I think 33 points has to be the aim here. I think that's realistic as well. If we beat Forest, I think we probably get 33 points there in that final run. Connect?
There's 3 games I got my eye on that we could really, 4 actually, that we could struggle on. The 4th one, not so much, but obviously Forest Ground, obviously Old Trafford, because everything happens in Derby. I wouldn't obviously not going to underestimate Goodison, because David Moyes has been doing a pretty good job with Everton since taking that. He's cleared them a relegation essentially. And I can't remember. I don't know what his loss record is like. I don't even know if he's lost a game. Probably has, but yeah, he's doing a great job there. And got to remember, Goodison's games are numbered now, which means the atmosphere is going to be booming more than ever, probably, especially against the bigger teams. So
Yeah.
So, can't underestimate Everton. And also Fulham at Craven Cottage, last day of the season. Who knows what the top 4 race is going to be like at that point. It could really be fiery in terms of the battle for Europe. And so they might not be willing to roll over. And so I reckon the atmosphere will be up for that. So, yeah, Craven Cottage is something to keep our eyes on as well. But really, we should be aiming for 33. That is the bottom line.
So don't worry about Man United getting Europe. Don't worry about Man United getting Europe, my guy.
No, don't worry about
it. They've got a few embarrassing ones, actually. I don't need to end there. Let's keep going, guys. Let's keep going. We just have to open Man United's recent games. What is it here? Ipswich Town. Yikes. They were losing to Ipswich Town,
Yeah, I saw that.
Man United is in the gutter, bro. Don't worry about Man United winning Europa League. You know how Aguero bet his balls? Now he's Aguerino. You know how Aguero bet his balls on us beating Real Madrid? I will bet my balls on Man United, and I will not post proof that I actually followed through with it. I will bet my balls that Man United does not reach. I think they'll lose against Real Sociedad. Watch them get banned. Watch them get banned against Sociedad. They might be in for a big embarrassment, We will be there. We will be there. I hope Real Sociedad beat them by a considerable margin, because they need to be silenced, They need to be silenced. Somehow they're still talking loudly, even though they're in 14th, 13th. Their fans are just used to mediocrity now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of like Chelsea fans were used to mediocrity. Oh my days, Tottenham is also 13th, I forgot. We struggled against them, to be fair. Big teams are just shit all over Europe, aren't they? I suppose that's a closing point for the screen. Real Madrid is shit. Arsenal is shit. Well, are they even a big club? Man City is shit. Chelsea, I already said that. Arsenal, Man United, Tottenham. All these clubs playing like shit, bro. All these clubs playing like shit. I know, but what if that happens? If that happens, if we finish fourth, we still get Champions League because we still get Champions League because top 5 is going to be enough for Champions League because Man City gets the extra spots or England gets the extra Champions League spot, so we'll still qualify. And I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm mistaken on this, I'm pretty sure that if you get a Europa League winner who doesn't get top 4, you get an extra spot anyways. I'm not sure if I'm correct on that. Correct me if I'm mistaken, but I don't think if you win the Europa League that it matters because that's like a European win. That's separate from domestic. Like if you win the FA Cup and you're like 6th or like 10th, you get Europe, of course, but you get Europa League. But I think if you win the Europa League and you finish 10th, that it doesn't affect the Champions League spots, and that's because like if you want to know, by the way, why winning the FA Cup gets you Europe, it's because the FA Cup or the Europa League is the merger of the Cup Winners' Cup and the UEFA Cup. So the Cup Winners' Cup, the qualification routes to that used to be the domestic cup. So those two competitions merged, formed the Europa League. So that's why winning a cup gets you automatic qualification to the Europa League, and why it takes away qualification from someone else in the league. So just think that's it for anyone who didn't know that. But anyhow, yeah. Any last thoughts said on the stream so far? Has it been good, Steady?
It's been a lot of fun. So yeah.
If you don't get the Therapy joke, by the way, me and Luke, after the stream once, because after the stream we continued to talk for a bit. We talked a bit, and he said it's like therapy for me, and that's pretty much a joke. It's a very unfunny joke, but that's a joke if you're wondering. So anyhow, that's it for us. Thank you to both of these guys for being in again. Go check out their channels, subscribe to them. Second, though, I'm gonna redirect you guys to Desert City, so Alf rate in the chat there, and I'll see you guys